Oh, it's a little loosey-goosey today. You better tighten up, baby. Hello?
Hello.
Hello from the other side. I must have called 1,000 times.
Hey, y'all.
Hey, y'all.
Welcome back.
How y'all doing?
How you doing?
This is Call Me Crying. Story of my life.
Once every other day.
Yeah, you know, it's a lot. It's a lot. Oof.
It's funny because Kayleigh's normally the crier too, but Matt's always calling me crying.
As I get older, I get more and more emotional.
I just stay emotional.
True. That's true. Yeah. But for me, it's little triggers. Like the other day, I'm
Losing
just gonna
in FaceTime.
Shut up. Girl, you act the same way, so don't even act like you aren't.
But you always call me out.
Okay, but can we just talk about the ultimate comeback? Because Finn's here, y'all, in case you're hearing things in the background. Because I was stuck for the longest time, and I caught up to you bitches.
You did.
And I came in second place.
Mm-hmm.
So
I came in first.
Yeah, for the first time in a long time. You know that's true.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
But the other day I was driving to work and I got stuck behind a school bus, and I saw like the kids getting on the bus because I think it was like the first day, and I saw these like parents and they're like kindergartners getting on the bus for the first time, and all I kept thinking about was my nieces, and I was like, I just started crying because I'm like, oh my God. I mean, one is in 5th grade, the other is in 2nd grade. Like what?
Oh my God.
Yeah. So, you know, I'm a little emotional in my older years.
I get it.
Yeah. Oof.
I was crying about something this morning, but I forgot already.
Well,
Oh.
when you cry that much, girl.
I was crying because I saw videos. Remember last year, the football player who like collapsed in the field, the Bills player had a heart attack. Mm-hmm. I don't know why, like the memories of that were coming up on my feed today. Mm-hmm. Bawling.
Did he die?
No.
Oh, okay.
Survived.
Okay. How was your week, girl?
Week was good. Week was busy.
Okay.
Kayleigh overscheduled herself, but it was okay. It was a learning lesson. I got through it. I made some time to binge watch, though, the first season of The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives.
I've heard a lot about this.
Obsessed. I've seen them, not all of them, but a couple of them on TikTok already. So I felt like I knew somewhat of what I was getting into.
Yeah.
That shit was bomb.
Yeah, I've heard that from a couple of people.
It was fucking good. It was entertaining, to say the least.
It's just one season out right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is the full season out? Mm-hmm. So it's one of those, because I like to watch full seasons. Okay, how many episodes?
I think 8.
Okay. Ooh, okay.
Say.
I mean, that's decent for nowadays.
Mm-hmm. No, it was good. It was entertaining. Reality show. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So you're not like learning while you're watching. Yeah. I mean, you actually learn about the Mormons, which I'll leave it at that.
Okay, well, it's on my list now.
Okay,
I'll have to start it. Okay.
How was your week?
So we didn't record last week.
We didn't. We're sorry, guys.
Yeah, sorry. It was literally all my fault.
No.
It was. I was very emotional last week. Still am, honestly. I found out that the girl that I talk about, or the woman I talk about on this podcast every single time, my dear friend Bethany, she is leaving work. And yeah.
You're getting teary-eyed.
I'm not getting teary-eyed. Yeah, she...
We love you, B.
Love you, B.
Oh, God.
Don't make me cry. The other day, we were at a wedding. We were working a wedding. It was the end of the night, and one of the kitchen people were leaving. And he's talking to her. And they just aren't like even talking about like, oh, this is the last time I'll see you, whatever. And I'm just sitting there and I just keep like, guys, you got to stop. You got to stop. Because it's very weird because I mean, B's one of my best friends. And I keep saying like, I'm losing my best friend. And she's like, you're not losing me. But like, you know, when you get attached to people at work and literally, this is probably not HR appropriate, but she was like my work wife. It was her and I.
Totally.
Our desks are connected.
Yeah.
Like we do everything together. If one of us was somewhere, the other one was not far behind. So yeah, we're like super, super close work wise. She is the only other person besides you that knows pretty much everything about my life.
Right.
So yeah, it was a shock. I wasn't, it's not even in a work capacity. Like my boss was like, how are you doing? And I was like, I'm fine in terms of work. Like that doesn't bother me. It's the like
personal life.
Yeah. It's almost, I was like, I feel like I'm going through like a divorce or like a breakup. And like, it's so weird. So yeah. Texted you like, hey girl, I can't explain right now. I'll explain later, but we cannot record today.
Yeah.
And your response was, are you physically and emotionally okay? And I was like, physically, yes. Emotionally, no.
Then you were like, I'll have to talk through it though later. And in my head, I'm like, oh shit, what the fuck is going on? Like, did I do something? Or like, I go through this panic. And then he's like, yeah, I'll call you when I'm home from work. And I ended up having a meeting outside of my home that day. So like I was running late. But I didn't hear from him. So then finally I called him from the car and I'm like holding my breath to like hear what you said. And very, very shocked too. And to also preface, like very happy.
Yes.
For Bethany though. Like extremely. And Matt has been nothing about so excited for her. But also you can be excited and devastated at the same time. Yeah.
No, it's very much like, so we're going out for drinks this week before she leaves. And I'm like, okay, I know I'm going to like, have to say something, like I'm gonna want to say something, and I just like think about it and I just start crying. I'm like, oof. Yeah. So I love B to death. She is the one person in this world that deserves happiness more than anybody else I know. No offense. I'm extremely happy for her. She is like a beast and can do pretty much anything she puts her mind to. So I know this will be great for her. But yeah, I keep saying and I'm not even gonna edit it out. So yeah, that was my week. So it was a long processing time. Yeah. On top of our actual job. So yeah, but feeling a little better, feeling refreshed. A day off will do that for you. Yeah. So.
And we like to give you guys 100% too. Yeah. Like when we're filming this, we're not trying to rush things through, and we also talk about our lives, and sometimes we need time to metabolize things that are going through our lives to then be able to open up and express what's going on. So it's never easy for us to miss a week, but we're all humans and we all have emotions and stuff going on, so sometimes it's necessary.
It was definitely necessary. I think also just like between the busyness of last week. So, yeah, we're going to come and we're going to go. And, we like that you are here for the ride. But some weeks, you're just going to have to rewatch some clips on Instagram or something. So, yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Well, we have a couple questions for each other that we're going to run through and give our honest thoughts. And I'm going to start off with asking you.
Okay.
All right.
Go.
First question is, would you rather talk to your future self or your past self? And depending on your answer, why?
So for me, this one is I would rather talk to my past self. I think future self, it's almost like, I'm going to start with why I probably wouldn't talk to my future self. It's like in That's So Raven. Yeah. Like she sees what's going to happen and then she just tries to like prevent it from happening and then it happens. So it's like if I knew what was going to happen in the future and I didn't like it, I would try to change it. And then ultimately like, I don't want to mess with that. So I think it would have to be my past self. That's that saying where people are like, live a life like without regret. And it's like, I get that. Like, there's not much that I regret in life, but there are some pretty significant things that I feel like I regret. Okay. And choices that I made, which ultimately like led me to where I am now. So it's also very hard there. But I feel like past self 100%. Because I put myself through some shit that was unnecessary, and even just like in my head about things. Like, you know, I feel like a lot of it would make it easier if I could just talk to young Matt and be like, yo, bro, get it? Like, shut up. Shut up. So yeah, I think that's probably the case for me. There's a ton of things I'd probably say to myself, but yeah. You?
Good answer. So very similar answer. If this question was easy for me, immediately it would be past self. And number one reason why would also be, to your point, is I don't want to see into my future. I don't want to know what's going to happen to me and then make it so my life leading up to that moment is constantly thinking, worrying, changing, anything of that nature, because it's going to change my course, but the same outcome is going to happen.
Yeah.
So I think if I knew something about my future, then my current self up until that moment is just going to be overthinking that, too conscious about it, that I'm not going to be able to actually live in my present. I'm going to be too focused on thinking of my future.
Yeah.
And I just don't think that's a good life to live. When it comes to talking to my past self, I really would go to my past self and remind myself it's going to be okay. I am still hard on myself, but when I was younger, I was extremely hard on myself. Very self-conscious, very harmful to myself and my body and my image and my mental capacity. And I would really love to talk to a younger version of myself and tell me that I do hold worth and that I am a great person and I'm going to have great things in my life, and just to stop being so hard on myself and stop being so detrimental to my self-worth and my mental state. And yeah, I would have a good talk with Kayleigh and just tell her, like, you're a bad bitch, you got it. These little things that you're strung up on, I get it, but you're going to see the light.
Yeah. That's funny, because I was thinking of asking you a question and you answered it before I could even ask the question.
What?
It was like, do you have like a theme of what you would talk about? Almost like when I think back to like, okay, what are the things I wish I could go back and say? And it has to do a lot with regret. And it's like, there are pretty much two main themes with that.
Yeah.
So yeah, you answered that before I could even ask it.
Look at that.
You know. But my two main themes are, because it's like, I don't really want to change much, but I do wish that I was more extroverted in life, like did more, even in like school, that like, I wish I did more. I wish I went more places. I wish I was more, I don't want to say active and social, because like I was, but I guess more than I was.
In certain capacities.
And then the second one is because when I think back of all the like the big moments of life that like are directional, a lot of that had to do with a guy telling me something and like me making choices based off of what I'm being, you know, like that stuff. And yeah, those were big moments in my life where I'm like, if I just did what I wanted to do, my life would be completely different. But also then it's like, okay, well, what would my life be at that point? Like one big thing I remember, so I went to school for theater, like acting.
Yeah.
And I remember I was dating this guy, and he was older, and he was like, okay, but like, what are you really going to do? Like, that's not a thing. That's not a job. And to me, that like, I was like, oh my God, what are you doing? And that completely changed everything I was doing from that point on. And I like hate it, because I loved when I was in school for that and doing all that. That was something I really, really enjoyed and haven't done in a long time. But yeah, I let some, you know, guy who I look at him now and I'm like, bro, Shut up. Like,
Who the fuck are you?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that type of stuff.
So to bridge off that, my two themes, which I kind of touched on, but to elaborate, one would be my, again, self-worth. I was really, really hard on myself, and I'm still hard on myself to this day, but it was much more drastic when I was younger on my image, my body, my weight, my appearance. I was so hard on myself that I just lost who I was. And I really just didn't think I deserved things. I thought I was disgusting. I just was my worst enemy. I was my worst enemy when I was younger, and just really thought that due to the way I looked, I didn't deserve love. I didn't deserve happiness. I didn't deserve a lot of things. And I would just go to my younger self and say, one, you're crazy. You're beautiful. Like, not just on the outside, but especially on the inside. Like, you hold so much value internally, and you'll see how your life flourishes just because of that. And then in addition to that, when I was younger, when I started work at like 14, 15 years old. And I threw myself into work, even as just a bus girl at a restaurant. And I prioritized work over friendships, over family, over relationships, over my social life. And I would tell myself, like, you're in high school. Prioritize also your friends and your social life. Like, I would, because it kind of branches off what you said, I felt like I was still very active when I was younger. But I do feel like I isolated myself unintentionally from friends and from parties and from these pivotal moments in my teen years, because I had a job and I became friends with older people and wanted to be around them. Again, love that, and I still cherish those moments, but I feel like I could have done things slightly differently.
Yeah, no, I get that. I get that a lot. It's so weird to, like, just think back that, like, in the moment, you thought that was what it needed to be. And then, like, you get older, and because, when you're, like, early 20s and coming out of high school or college, and, like, you're really set, you think you fucking know everything.
Oh, I know.
And it's like,
I know.
Now it's like, I look at myself and I'm like, you don't know shit.
Totally.
You don't even know shit now.
Totally.
At the age that you are. Like,
yep.
It's so crazy
we
how
thought we were the smartest people in the world.
Yeah. And just the ever, like, you are just constantly changing, and I love that fact. But yeah, looking back, like, bro, you dumb. You is dumb.
All right. Next question.
Okay.
Ready?
2 questions in a row. Let's go, baby.
I know. If you are what you attract, what are you?
Disaster.
Bitch.
Crazy. Heartbreak. Yeah. This, for me, it's like, I can't take this.
Hold on. I have to preface again.
Okay.
Something else. This does not just mean romantic relationships.
Okay.
This means friendships. This means people you meet that you vibe with. It could also mean entertainment, like music and TV shows. Like, you can go broad with your answer.
I think in terms of, okay, so if I'm going to say, like, okay, relationships, I'm going to say in my current state, I am someone who just probably shouldn't be in a relationship right now. Therefore, I do not attract a relationship. And that's not to say, that's not, like, negative in any sense that I mean it. It's like, you just I have a lot. I don't know why I'm saying you, like I'm talking to the third person or whatever. That was wrong. Oh my God, Lauren, please. I'm so sorry.
What?
She's like, that's not third person.
Shout out to Lauren.
So yeah, I just feel that I just don't have, like, I don't think me bringing something to a relationship right now is going to be worthy.
You don't have space for a relationship right now.
And it's not that, like, if it came, I wouldn't make the space, because I'm very much like that. I make the space for everything. I just feel like it's like right now I like to believe like when it comes, it comes. Like there is an external universe plan out there that is when it comes, it comes. But right now it's like nothing's coming because it's not for you right now.
But I want you, okay, branch out on that though. So relationship aside, let's talk about like friendships and people in your inner circle.
Yeah, girl, I know I was getting on to
Oh,
that.
sorry. Mobby.
So in like a friendship way, I think it very much is like I attract what I am. Mm-hmm. So it is, I don't like drama in any sense. I don't like drama. Mm-hmm. So everyone that I'm friends with, or like I associate, I mean, I love to hear it, baby. I love to watch it. I don't love it in my life.
Yeah.
But anyone that I am close with, there's no drama. Mm-hmm. Like that, it's not a thing. I also feel like I am more of a, believe it or not, like to myself type person.
Yep.
Where it's like I only open up to people that I'm like super comfortable with.
Yeah. You don't put your shit on blast.
Yeah, I don't. It's not like I'm over here posting on Facebook, making a status about something. I mean, I say things on here, and you know, obviously that's for reasons, but I'm not the type. I feel like I am more quiet, reserved to myself, to the people that I care about, and I feel like everyone that I am close with and that I care about is the same type of way. Mm-hmm. You know, so that's what I feel like, because I also very much think that it's not even thinking, it's like feeling, if someone who was not that type of way was to come into my life, I would like my body would, what's like the word, reject it. Reject it. It's like, you know, even in like a work capacity, when someone comes in hot, or I'm not saying in like my current job, but like in past jobs, if it's like, okay, cool, this is how we do this, and then someone comes in and they're just like completely out in left field, it's like, oh no. Like, you do that over there where you are. Don't come over here with that.
Yep.
So I think that is, if I am what I attract, that's that. You know, also a little crazy. I got this kook sitting next to me, you know. But we're the same type of crazy. So, yeah. Clearly, we found the right crazy in each other, because we're still here.
We're still going.
We haven't killed each other.
Yet.
Or left.
Yeah.
You
left yesterday.
I did. Kayleigh was acting a fool.
I was getting pissed off.
And she tried to get like smart and like, oh, okay, well, we're done. We're done. And I was like, I ain't got time for this. I picked my beer up off the coffee table, grabbed my phone, and I left.
That's what happens when we're like the definition of those reels that you see of people playing like Uno or Phase 10 or whatever card game, and we get pissed off and we fight. That's who we are. Yeah.
And yesterday I was like, I'm not feeding into this. Well, and I left.
It was because I didn't trust Josh's math for
Josh,
scorekeeping.
The smartest person we know.
I know. Facts. But I double checked his math to see what the points were, and he was like, oh, you don't trust me? Okay, you're keeping score. Kayleigh doesn't keep score. Kayleigh doesn't like keeping score. It's just a thing I don't like to do. Mm-hmm. And he was like, all right, I'm done. And I was like, oh, you're done? Okay, we're done. All right. So then I started pretending to box up the cards.
Not pretend. She couldn't find a box, so there was no pretend in here. She was doing, okay?
So then all of a sudden I like turn. Matt's gone. And I thought he was in the kitchen or like bathroom. Then I was like, wait, where is Matt? And then I open up my sliding door and I see him walking back down to his house. He's like, I'm not dealing. You could tell he does not like drama. He's like, I'm fucking out.
Yeah, you called, because once I turned that corner,
I know.
It's over. And you were like, Matt.
Waking up the neighbors. Where are you? Oh God.
Okay, same question to you.
Okay. So when it comes, I'm going to talk about this relationship, romantic plus friendships, because it's very similar. I attract independent people. So people who can thrive independently, but also in groups, but they are who they are. They don't need someone to be themselves. They don't have to have a partner. They don't have to have a group of people. Like they're very much who they are, and they believe in who they are. Also, problem solvers, I would say. That's a big one. Like people who also, I guess problem solver and independent can interchange with one another, but people who like to figure shit out and don't just want to be like, I can't do it.
Yeah.
Or I just need someone else to do it. Or, yeah, like, and this goes back to, I'm thinking of more so work relationships too. Like, I felt I very much didn't vibe with people who would come in and see a problem and make it into a much bigger problem and be like, this is a disaster. We're never going to fix this. This is never going to happen. Where I vibe a lot with people, because this is, again, reflective of who I am, of like, okay, what is the issue? What are our options? Let's fucking figure it out. I'm not trying to bring a tornado. Like, overreactors are the opposite of who I attract.
Yeah.
Like, I cannot stand people who come in and turn what could be a small issue into this fucking volcano exploding.
That abso-fucking-lutely.
And so again, we're very, obviously, we're best friends. So if we are what we attract people who are similar to one of us. So we have a lot of similarities. And then I totally agree about the drama. Like, I don't want friendships or relationships or people in my inner circle who are talking about the other person, who are causing issues for no reason, who feel like work to have a relationship with. I don't want my relationships to feel like work. And again, I'm going to go back to the first thing I brought up, but the independence of, again, people who we are friends or we're in a relationship or we're colleagues, but we don't rely on one another to be ourselves. We can also have our independent lives. We enjoy one another's time, but we're not reliant on it to continue our relationship. And lastly, good sense of humor. I need...
So you think I'm funny?
Bitch. Here we fucking go. I need to shoot the shit with someone. I want to laugh. I don't want stiff. I like, So
that one is like super true. I judge a lot of things over like, okay, are you the type of person that I can laugh about this with?
Yeah.
Like,
can I come up and make a joke and you not be like, who the fuck is this person?
Yeah.
So, and just trying to make light of things too.
Yeah.
Like always looking at the glass half full versus half empty.
Yes.
We all have our moments. You know, I'm an emotional person. I have those days, but generally speaking, people who you are optimistic, you know?
Yeah. No, I agree with that. I'm like sitting here thinking like, okay, am I that? As you're saying everything.
Yeah.
So,
and I'm not going to say there is someone in particular that I'm thinking of who's the opposite of that. And I'm not going to say who that is, but it actually helps me realize I know the people I attract, but when you think of the opposite of that, it helps you really realize that. Does that make sense?
Completely.
Yeah.
So another one that I'm thinking of, and I know this is going to make you laugh. It's because I say this all the time, but I'm thinking of a way to explain this.
Okay.
I want to give you an example. I just can't think of an example, but I know you'll probably be able to think of one. So I'm just going to go with it.
Okay.
I feel.
Oh no.
So like, okay. I feel like deep down in like the root of it all, I am a good person.
1000%.
So I feel like that. You know, I'm going with like,
so.
good and pleasant, whatever.
Yeah.
Not pleasant if, whatever. but good people. Like it's that thing where it's like, you can be nice, but not kind.
Yep.
But you can be kind and not nice. I would rather have in my life and be the person who is kind and not nice.
1,000,000%.
Like, and I'm trying to think of like a character in a show or something who like is always, is actually deep down like a good person, but comes off as like sarcastic or a douchebag or what. Can't think of anyone right now in the universe. But I feel like that is, when I think about the people in my life, they're genuinely good people who want the best for themselves, for the people who are close to them, and also just for everyone else. Like they're the type of people who would like
give you the shirt off
you the shirt off your back, be inconvenienced to help you, like those type of people. But
they're not fake nice. So
yes,
an example I can think of is not a specific character, movie, TV, but I can think of an example going back to work-wise. Someone who, again, is kind, but when push comes to shove, is not always nice because they have shit they have to get done. But on the reverse, if someone who was not kind, what was that?
It was...
Sorry.
So you're saying... not making us both cough.
Sorry.
So you're saying someone who's kind but not always nice. The opposite is someone who is nice but is not kind.
So someone who is nice but is not kind is someone who to your face, let's say at work, is like, oh no, it's okay. You did great. Don't worry about it. But then turns around and talks shit to your coworkers about how bad of a job you did, or goes to your boss, or just undermines you.
Yeah.
But to your face, they're nice. Whereas in reverse, someone who is kind but not nice will come to you and be like, hey, you fucked up.
Yeah.
It happens, but you got to learn from it.
Yeah.
Where I would appreciate that versus someone just, it's fine, don't worry.
Yeah.
And then behind my back talking shit.
Well, and that's the thing. Like sometimes in situations, and of course I'm thinking mostly about work, like there are times where I have to just be like honest and upfront about stuff. And I'm not coming at you in a way of like to make you feel bad or anything like that. But it's like 90% of the time I'm going to say, like, if I have something to say, I'm going to just say it. I'm not going to like beat around the bush because the intention, especially in a work capacity, is like, how do we just fix this or make it better moving forward?
So in my opinion, another way to frame what you mean is you attract straight shooters, people who are honest, and that in turn can mean kind, versus fake people.
Yes. Or people who are rude.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
Don't even start me about rude.
Yeah, because if you come at me rude, yeah, we gonna have a problem. Yeah. So that was another one that just popped in my head. I wish for some reason the character's in my head, but I can't think of it. So
yeah.
Moving on.
Well, I'm going to add something too, just because this happened. I was talking about this on Sunday with a girl I was working with. I feel like I also attract a lot of people who've worked in service or hospitality, or who respect and understand that. Because I was talking to this girl that I was working with, and she was telling me that she had a customer a couple weeks ago. She was bartending, and they were like chit-chatting. It was a busy Saturday night, and he was asking her questions about like her schooling and, her life and blah, blah, blah. So she was explaining where she went to college, what she majored in, and his response was, oh, so you went to college, got all those degrees, and now you're just bartending?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, hell
And I
no.
was like, bitch, I would have fucking taken his beer and be like, you're done.
Yeah.
Bye.
What the fuck?
So it kind of goes back to like, attracting independent, strong people, but also people who respect people.
Yeah.
I could be a fucking bitch and I will call you out, but it's because you're being rude and you're being a fucking asshole.
Yeah.
Not because I just feel like it. I'm not that person. If I'm having a bad day, I am the type of person. I'm also a communicator. So I, again, attract communicators. I like communicating about how I'm feeling. So if I'm having a bad day, if I'm sitting here with you or my husband or a friend or I was at work, I would say, hey, I'm not having a great day. If I'm coming off any certain way, it's not you.
Mm-hmm.
It's just I'm going through some shit
Mm-hmm.
versus just lashing out with no reason or explanation.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if that makes sense, but
No, that makes sense. That makes sense. I get that.
Communication is a huge thing for me.
Yeah.
I can over communicate at certain points, but I like being on the same page. If I know someone's going through some shit or just needs a day or is having a bad day, I will support you how you want me to support you, but I'll also take a step back.
Mm-hmm.
But knowing that I'm like, I can help more than just being like, is it me?
Yeah. No, you're the type where when I'm having a bad day, you'll text me, like, because and then you'll text me and be like, I just dropped food off at your house. I know you don't want to talk.
Penny al vodka.
I know you can't come over, but I'm going to still bring you food. I'm like, okay, thank you.
Like, I'm having a bad day. Okay, well, I'm making your favorite dinner. Do you prefer to eat it at my house or do you want me to drop off a goodie bag?
I feel like
either
you've
way
said
is
this
fine.
So many times.
It happened recently. It was the day you found out that me was leaving.
Yeah.
I was like, well, I decided to make chicken parm.
Yeah.
And your ass was like, what kind of chicken parm?
Okay, there are 2 different types of chicken parm that you make.
Yeah.
Both are good. One is more of a favorite than the other.
Yeah.
Not that the other one is not a favorite, but I just wanted to know,
I
what palette do I need to bring with me today?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so then my question, which I feel like is our answers to these. First off, I don't even know if I have an answer to this question, but I feel like yours are probably gonna
overlap.
Yeah, with the last question and this question. So, question is, it's a 2-parter. What is your love language? Is it also what gets you in trouble?
Okay. So I have a 2-part answer to this. So my love language is acts of service.
Mm-hmm.
Some are affection. Mine is more so an act of service.
Mm-hmm.
So for the way that I like love to be shown to me is by coming home and seeing that the house was cleaned, or coming home and seeing that there's flowers in a vase or a handwritten note. It doesn't have to be elaborate. It's just like those small things that make me feel like, oh, they were thinking about me. They knew this was something I wanted to get done, or they knew this was my favorite flower, or he knew I was dreading washing my car, or they knew I love movie theater popcorn. Like, just those, again, it could be like the smallest thing to a largest thing, but I prefer acts of service over gifts or PDA. I love PDA, but that's my love language.
You love PDA?
Oh no, that's not what I meant.
Oh, I was like, girl.
I love affection too. Sorry, that's what I meant to say. I love affection too, but if I had to choose one, acts of service. So the second part of that, does it get you in trouble? So going from romantic, which I just explained, to going to work, friendships, relationships. Sometimes acts of service can get me in trouble. So at my previous job, from the time I started until the time I completed, I felt like I was trying to constantly go above and beyond to prove myself in some forms of acts of service. So meaning I was assigned a task to, let's say, go change. This is one of the first tasks I was given when I started my last job. Go change all of the batteries out of the smoke detectors. So I would do that, but then I would also know the serial numbers on all the smoke detectors. I created a spreadsheet to show when the last time it was changed. I changed the HVAC filters without being asked. I wanted to prove myself, which is a good thing in work. Like, you want to go above and beyond. But I felt like I constantly did this throughout my entire time at that job, where then it was being assumed I would always go above and beyond. So when issues would happen or people would leave, it was assumed, well, Kayleigh will just take care of it.
Mm-hmm.
She always just takes care of things. So I feel like because of that, in turn, it ended up being an issue. And it ended up also being something then, because I love acts of service and I felt like I was constantly going above and beyond, I would have this assumption sometimes in my home life, in my romantic life, that why wasn't that being then done for me?
Mm-hmm.
But I wasn't communicating that. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yes. Yeah.
You're lost.
I'm not lost.
Okay.
Because what I'm thinking about is like, okay, so you have love languages. So you have like the one that you prefer, like for someone to do for you. But then it's like, the way that I'm thinking about this is in the work capacity. It wasn't what you were expecting everybody at work to do for you. It was what you were doing for everyone else.
But which I was going like too above and beyond with it in a work capacity. Again, removing the relationship romantic side of it. But then when it wasn't reciprocated, did I say it wrong?
Reciprocated?
Reciprocated? Well, then when it wasn't received back to me, I would then get salty or be pissed off.
Yeah.
But then I'm putting this standard out there without communicating. I feel like I'm confusing myself now at this point.
So it could be a little confusing, but I understand what you're saying. I think you've explained it so that it's understandable. But it's not necessarily like it gets you in trouble. I don't know. Give me a second to think about this.
It doesn't. So it gets me in trouble, not in a like, you're in trouble type way. It gets me in trouble because again, this is work wise. I know it's love language, but I'm bringing it into work. I would go above and beyond in certain areas too often, that then my job description felt like things were just being added to it from my doing.
Yeah.
To like, oh, I could take this on too, or I'll do this too. And then I came to a revelation of like, oh, wait, now all of this is always being expected of me. Of like, I was doing what I thought was something like nice or wanting to help out a little bit more in this scenario, not thinking that then it would always be expected for me to do.
Yeah. So basically, it's like your love language that you want for yourself is the one that you were putting out.
Yes.
Which I think is pretty common. Yeah, because where I think I got confused and I had to bridge the gap was like, okay, you have your love language, which is acts of service, but you don't, it's not like in a scenario with Josh, that's not what you're reciprocating back to him. You're like doing his, what is Josh's love language?
I would say Josh's is probably a mix of acts of service and affection.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's what you would.
And in our relationship, in our marriage, our love languages work really well. There's no concern there's no getting in trouble on the relationship side of things. It becoming a problem or getting in trouble was more of bringing that, how my love language then impacts and relates to my work relationship. Do you know what I mean?
Yep. Yeah. I get you. You confused us all a little bit,
Sorry.
but you explained it. You came with the deets. Okay.
What about you?
So if I'm being completely honest, I don't even know what my love language is. I can tell you what it's not. It's not gifts. I don't want gifts.
Yeah.
Do not give me gifts. But if I was to think, like, what is my love language? It's also not words of affirmation. I don't need you to pump me up, baby.
Oh, I should include that. I love words
Do
of
you?
affirmation.
I mean,
not like overkill.
I think it's like in an affectionate way. Words of affirmation I appreciate that.
Yeah.
But it's actually so funny. I was on the phone yesterday with, this is not relationship wise, with my boss. And we were talking about, everything that's going on. And she was just like complimenting me and like how I am at work and like my ethic and stuff. And I'm like, I just retreat into awkward, which thank God I was on the phone, because I was like, if this was in person, I would not be able to make eye contact with you. And she was like, I think it's really important for you to hear this, like for someone to say this to you. And I was like, honestly, you're true. You're correct, because I don't like to hear that, but sometimes it's like, I feel like it is needed. So,
well, I think it goes back to, we're similar on this note. It's hard to take compliments, where your immediate thought is like, no, that's you, or or like looking around, and it's still good to hear. Like, we want to hear them, but we're funny, but we're just awkward.
Yeah. I cannot take a compliment. I know. It's so awkward.
He's so fucking rude with it. I'll be like, oh, like, I really love your outfit. You're like, okay.
That's not true. I'm just kidding. Although you didn't. Did you say something to me yesterday about my haircut?
Yeah, I said it looked really great.
Yeah.
Just like, and then remember, I was like, did you hear me?
Because my dumb ass will always be like, oh, you too.
Yeah.
Like when they say like, enjoy at the restaurant. You're like, you too. That's me. I'm just awkward with all that stuff.
One of Kayleigh's pet peeves. I do not like people not responding to me.
Oh, I know.
I had a table walk in when I was working on Sunday. I was like, hi, 2 for lunch? And they just looked at me. And I was like, hi, 2 for lunch?
Oh, God. Okay, so back to my love language. I feel like, I don't know, it's hard because it's like acts of service. Yes. But it's also like, I feel like I'm independent. I can, do. I know feel yours. Like it. What do you think it is?
I think yours is communication.
Is that a love language?
I don't know. I just made it up.
I think mine actually is a mixture of quality time.
Okay.
And it's a mixture of quality time, affection, and words of affirmation, and acts of service.
Okay.
It's like, it's the thing where it's like, okay, I'm going to, I don't know, I'm going to paint the living room. I don't want you to paint the living room for me, but I would get enjoyment out of you painting the living room with me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like that type of thing where it's like, I don't want you to do the thing for me, but like we could do it together.
It's like the not wanting to ask too.
Yeah.
It's really nice to be like, I know you had a long day. Just so you know, I made the dog food and the laundry's in the dryer.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, thank you. Like, we're a partnership, so like, you know, we help each other, but it's nice to just like not have to be like, hey, can you take off of work this day and paint my living room with me? Yeah. Where it's you bring up, oh, I have to paint my living room. Oh, okay. What day? Yeah. I can come help.
Yeah. So I think it's a mixture. I don't really know. Yeah. I'm going to say it's a mixture. I think it's heavy on being together, the quality time part of it, which I'm like, I don't want to be in your face all the time, but I do enjoy, like, I also very much enjoy, and this goes into like friendships, because you and I are like this all the time. I would like if we were hanging out on a Sunday and we were literally just being vegetables on the couch watching TV, like, I'm going to enjoy that more than just being a vegetable on my own couch by myself. Yeah. Like, it's that, like,
we're not the
let's
type of
rot together, you know, type thing.
Yeah. And you're not the type of person who, if we're hanging out, we constantly need to, like, talk or do something. Like, we can literally sit on the couch on our phone or watch a show and not talk for an hour straight, and like, it's not weird, it's normal.
I mean, yes, but can you watch a show for an hour straight without talking?
No.
This girl loves the pause, but can we pause? I have questions.
Listen.
And if you reject it, it doesn't matter. Then she's lost. She's no longer watching. She's on her phone, Googling everything about every single character.
Yeah.
The person who wrote it.
Yep.
Who's the director.
Mm-hmm. Where were they born?
How old are they? This
How
is
many kids
Kayleigh to a T.
Yeah.
Okay, so how old do you think they were when they filmed this movie? I know the answer, but how old do you think they are?
Bitch.
All the time.
I'm always playing trivia while we're watching a movie. I know the ending before we press play. Yeah. I'm just here for the ride. I love looking up spoilers.
Yeah, I really feel like when we... Didn't we recently... You wanted me to watch something with you, and I was like, okay, but you are not... We're not pausing. And you're not asking questions.
Yes. I was like, okay. No problem.
Oh yeah, sometimes I'm like, we're going in to watch something. I'm like, give me your phone.
Yeah,
I want to tell you, give me your phone. That's why when you get up to go to the bathroom, I hide it sometimes.
Yeah, I'm always like.
The one time, I got so good at this because you're also the type who's like, call my phone. So the one time I turned your phone off when I hit it.
Bitch, that's fucked up.
And Josh was calling, and you were like, I don't hear it. I don't hear
it. Here it is.
Where'd it go? Oh goodness. Okay, so follow-up question. What is one love language that, like, for you, I mean, I already answered this for myself. For you, that you're like, no, I don't need that.
I would probably say gifts as well.
Yeah, gifts for me, I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah.
I don't need you to buy me stuff.
No, I'd rather it go into, like, buying me flowers. I really do like flowers. Mm-hmm. But it could be anywhere from like a single stem tulip to
not a tulip.
Your $10 bouquet at Walmart. Like I don't need any, or it could be you picked some flowers.
Yeah.
Like I really love flowers. Yeah. I don't consider those gifts if it's like, I see it more as a service because it's, and maybe I'm wrong with this, but it's because I love this thing and it's just like a nice thing on the kitchen table. It's not, I don't need the flowers because they hold a dollar amount to them. Yeah. It's more of like the act of wanting to like surprise.
It's like it's like if you like a candy.
Yeah.
And I'm in the store and I know you like the candy and I get you the candy. Yeah. It's not like.
It's like I was thinking of you.
Yeah.
Type thing versus like, here's a gift.
Yeah.
But I would say the gifts too. If I want something, I'll buy it.
I'll get it myself.
Because, don't get me wrong, it's nice to get a gift on like a birthday or a holiday. I'm not saying like never buy me a gift, but like
randomly.
Yeah.
I once went on a first date with a guy who like I didn't really talk to all that much before. Like it was like normal conversation, then like went on a date. The date happened to be on Valentine's Day. And the guy showed up. Hope you're not listening because you seem like the person who would listen. But he showed up and he had a Coach wallet. He bought me a Coach wallet.
Oh.
And I was like, I mean, I didn't get you anything. Like, this is just a date, like a first date. Yeah. I don't know. I'm not good with presents.
Do you know what I do like? And this could be a form of my love language towards Josh sometimes. I do like giving gifts though. Same. But I like giving gifts when I know it's something like they've been wanting or they've been talking about. So for example, last year, this new like Irish shamrock golf bag, Josh kept like looking up. He kept talking about how much he loved it. So one night I was like, oh, send it to me. Let me see. I just want to see what it looks like. Sent it to me and I immediately bought it. And it was more because like he was really excited about it. He wanted it. It's not that he necessarily didn't have the money, but he was just like, I don't need it right now. I have a golf bag. Yeah. And like, I wanted to do that for him, not because it was a holiday or his birthday. It was just like, I like giving gifts.
Yeah.
And I like giving either like sentimental or gifts people have been wanting. I hate giving gifts just to give gifts.
Yeah.
I hate when it's like holidays come around. We're like, well, we have to get Aunt Sue something. I don't want to just buy something and send it to them just to say I got you a gift. Like, I want to give you a gift that you'll use, that you'll want, that ties into our relationship or friendship. You know what I mean? I hate the just like, well, we have to give them something. Let's just pick this up.
Yeah.
You know?
You know, it's so funny when you're explaining Josh and the golf bag, all I kept thinking of is like, you know, those TikToks where like girls are like, oh, and they leave like pictures of engagement rings everywhere. I'm like, this is Josh leaving that golf bag everywhere.
Right.
Like looking it up on, you know, the girl that you could talk to. Can't say her name out loud because she'll go off right now.
Yeah.
But like the golf bag then pops up on the screen in your kitchen.
Yep.
It's like everywhere.
Leaving hints.
That's what I picture from Josh. And I wouldn't put it past him.
No.
I think
Are
he
you
would do
kidding
that.
me?
He'd be like, ooh, look at his lawnmower.
Right. Oh my God. I remember, I think it was Christmas. One Christmas, he ordered things off Amazon, and we have
A joint Amazon.
No.
Oh, you have a Alexa.
Yes.
Yeah.
We do have, so we have a joint like Amazon membership, but separate logins. So like we're not seeing what each other's buying.
Yeah.
However, his is tied to our girl.
The girl.
So Christmas, it kept saying like package arriving and kept showing pictures of the things that he got me. I was like, ooh, I see we got a new hammock.
He's like, great.
Like, God damn it.
Oy vey.
I know.
All right, y'all. So you know what our love languages are and what ones we don't like. Tell us what your love language is. If it's gifts, give us a little bit of an explanation. You know, we're not coming at you. I just want to understand more.
And if there's one we didn't bring up or mention, let us know. Tell us. Give us an inside scoop.
Yeah. Let us know what you think, y'all. But that's what we got for you today.
Yeah. That's what we got for you today. We got another...
Way to repeat me.
Busy week coming up. Next week, Kayleigh's going to have a little surprise for y'all. So stay tuned.
Yeah, she's got a big old surprise for y'all. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned, y'all.
All right, bitches. Enjoy your week. Take some time for yourself.
Cry if you need to.
Call us if you're crying. DM us if you're crying. Email us if you're crying. Subscribe. Follow. They could just send the crying emojis, you know?
Okay. Do it, y'all.
You do it.
All right. Keep going.
Oh, follow, subscribe. Go to our website, callmecrying.com. I don't know the whole spiel.
I know, but you went for it. And
I know,
was like,
I tried.
Yes, I always got to do it.
I tried.
You know the deal, y'all. It's in the details of this episode. But we'll call you next week.
Okay.
Yeah.
Look at you.
Like it.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.